snail!
You know how we love a bit of Would I Lie to You?
I know very much how we love Would I Lie to You.
We haven't done my favourite segment in probably close to a month, and that is This Is My.
Oh, yes. Yes, no, we haven't, actually. I love these ones, too. It was Acaster was our first.
Acaster was our first. We've seen a few of them since then. I think we might have a bit of insider knowledge because one of the participants is claiming that this person is their Australian mate.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're going to get quizzed on anything Australia, but hopefully we'll be able to rule that one out pretty quickly.
Obviously, we're somewhat of an expert in this field.
Yes.
Having lived our lives here.
Yes, I would say that we have a slight advantage in this particular game, but let's get into it. This is my Aubrey.
Please welcome this week's special guest, Aubrey.
Was expecting a woman.
So was I.
So we're not going to be as good as this as we thought.
Yeah, we're already behind the eight ball.
We're already behind. All right.
So, Steve, what is Aubrey to you?
This is Aubrey. When he goes on holiday, I look after his pet snail.
Sarah, how do you know Aubrey?
This is Aubrey. He once followed me home for 10 miles just to return my jar of mango chutney.
That's creepy.
And finally, Lee.
This is Aubrey. We were once threatened with eviction after we stole and fried our housemate's socks.
David, where do you want to start?
Yes. Where do you start with that?
This snail, describe it.
It's got a shell and an undercarriage.
Undercarriage.
Checks out so
Welcome to
far.
Steve Davis Natural History. It's back to you in the studio.
It's a common garden snail, nothing special, and Aubrey asked me to look after it.
Where does he keep it?
Basically in an aquarium, the same as you would keep any type of snake or lizard.
So he keeps a common, normal, regular snail.
Totally regular snail.
The sort of thing one might find, you know, dozens of just in the garden. He keeps one of.
Yes.
Does the snail have a name?
This one's called Judd.
And what do you feed him?
Lettuce or occasionally dandelion leaves.
Right.
As a treat.
Or you should give him Frenchman as a revenge.
I don't get that.
No.
Let's go back a minute. You specifically said this one is called Judd, which to me suggests there are others.
Yes. He's had others. The last one was Ronnie.
Ronnie before Judd.
Before Judd. And Alex.
Alex? Now, are you picking up the...
I'm assuming this is a reference to probably a UK TV show or something, maybe characters.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, because this is all going over our head.
this theme, Craig? Yes.
Got this.
With your snooker knowledge, I mean...
Steve, does Aubrey have other pets?
He used to keep snakes.
What does Aubrey do for a living?
He used to work in the snooker club I played in.
Yeah.
And we got to be friends over a period of time. I was, to some degree, interested in snakes, no longer. And that's how we sort of got a bit of an interest.
So does he live near you?
In the Romford area.
And when he goes away, do you go to his house to feed the snail?
No, the snail comes to me.
That must take ages. What does the task of looking after a snail involve?
Fresh food and
Yes, of
also
course.
keeping the soil moisture.
And do you monitor the... Would you worry if he appeared a bit sluggish?
Too far.
The art form has reached its peak.
Who would you like to quiz next?
That's such a savage insult.
I love David Mitchell lately. Like, he is just... Since we said, like, I'd love there to be an animated show of these guys, like, I just can't not see him as the angry owl who's
Yeah,
just
the cartoon owl.
But the comic relief of all of it, he's easily become my favourite on this show.
Sarah, Tell us the story about the chutney following.
I was in a supermarket and I did all my shopping, and then when I packed it up, I didn't realise that I'd left some chutney.
You'd packed up all the shopping apart from a jar of chutney.
Yeah.
Mango, did you say?
Mango.
Delish. Continue.
So nice. So then I went back to my car, I got in my car, I drove away. I didn't know I'd forgotten anything. And when I turned off the dual carriageway, a car was flashing me, and I thought I'd done something wrong. And it was this man called Aubrey, and he came out of his car and had my chutney.
Is this quite a special supermarket that you had to go all the way 10 miles to get this chutney?
Oh, it's called Lidl, and it's worth the drive, my friend.
It's worth that 10 miles.
I wasn't at my house,
Right.
I wasn't in London where I live now. I was at a writers' retreat in
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
a place called Sheldon in the Cotswolds.
So you're sitting at the wheel, he comes alongside,
Yep.
and you see him holding the chutney.
Yep.
What do you do?
Well, I put the window down.
OK.
And he says, "You left this at the supermarket.
Creepy.
I've been following you."
And then how did you know his name was Aubrey? Did he then go, Anne, lovely to meet you?
No, he tweeted me. He tweeted me that night.
Saying what?
How's your dinner with your chutney?
Did you reply?
No.
So Anne...
This is the first time you've
And
seen
here
your
he is.
stalker since.
Yeah, that's not true.
It's a year and a half ago. He's
Hardly
never
a
got in contact
stalker.
again. He's not a stalker.
She left some chutney and he brought it back to her. If
For
that
10
makes you a
miles.
stalker,
For
then I
10
think we're all a
miles.
little bit of a stalker,
This is just
aren't
a
we?
jar of
No,
normal mango
you're a stalker,
chutney.
Rob.
It's delicious, but yeah, normal.
Did you definitely leave the chutney there, or did he just pick anything off a shelf and then follow you, and he's here now?
Oh, yes, when you in the shopping, you found the jar of chutney.
Did you find more chutney?
I didn't, but now I'm scared, even though I know I didn't.
Did you...
All the audience members are going, yes, he stopped me for chutney once.
Now then, what about Lee?
I feel so sorry for Aubrey right now.
I know, I know.
So uncomfortable.
Normally they're fun stories, but he's getting painted as like a really creepy person right now.
Out of the two that we've heard, that seems to be the least likely.
So I think the snail one is quite possible. We'll go into all of them at the end. We'll hear Lee's now,
yeah.
but I think that's quite possible. I don't think that's possible. There's no way you're going 16 kilometres.
And there's also no way... Hey, yeah, we're from Would I Lie to You? Yeah, we know you stalked this girl ages ago. Would you like to come on this show and just pretend like you also did a couple other things for people, but really you're just a stalker?
Yeah. Hey, Sarah, do you have anyone that you think should be on the show? Yeah. You know what? Get in contact with that creepy guy that followed me for so many kilometres. Bring him back in.
No.
No. All right, let's hear Lee's.
And like... Oh,
So-
yeah, I stalked that girl. I'll go on this TV show and advertise it.
Yeah, exactly. No chance. Now, time for the Australian story, apparently. This is the bit that we're here for.
Lee, remind us of your story.
This is Aubrey. We were once threatened with eviction after we stole and fried our housemate's socks.
What was the name of the housemate?
Her name was Kathy.
And who caught you frying these socks?
The catching didn't happen till the next day. Because it was on New Year's Eve.
Right.
And we were about to
Where's
go
the
out celebrating.
Australian thing in all this?
And we may have been, in
know
my
yet.
more carefree days, a little bit worse for wear. And so we decided it would be fun to fry these socks.
So how did you fry them?
Well, as anyone knows, you want to go for your basic, get a bit of butter in, get it all hot, nice and heated, lay the sock like a thin piece of steak, one side, all you're doing is searing the edges, you don't want to cook them in.
How did you know Aubrey?
But, well, me and Aubrey had been travelling together in Australia, and we were in Australia at the time. Did I tell you that?
No.
Oh, well, I just have.
Those socks were left in the frying pan,
Yeah,
weren't they?
overnight.
So who
Jill.
found them the next day?
The mother of the flatmate.
No way.
Yes, way.
Describe the crisis of the next day. The mother's there. She's come into the house. She's
Yeah, so
seen
we've
the
come-
charred socks in the frying pan.
Yes.
What happens next?
So we've come back late on New Year's Eve. Now New Year's Day, it's like 4 a.m. So I was still asleep, and it was Aubrey that got the grief of the mother.
Right.
What was she so cross about?
What was she so cross about? We fried her daughter's underwear. What do you think?
That's well,
Not underwear,
socks is not underwear.
They are where I wear them.
So the mother gets cross with Aubrey
Yeah.
and says, what?
She went, "Good day, Katie. How are you?" She's coming.
True.
And then she comes and she goes, Screw, who's done that in me daughter? Who's done that with me daughter's socks? I'm going to go crazy. Oi, you, Aubrey, get yourself down here. So Aubrey was down,
It's like a horrible New Zealand.
I was down in the kitchen. She went,
Very,
straight,
very
mate.
Aussie
Who would
Vogan.
fry a girl's socks? And then he said, look, we were a bit... And she went, don't you... And she went crazy at him. She absolutely went crazy. She said, I'm going to report you to the owner of the house, she said, and I'm going to have you evicted.
Were you evicted? Did you have to leave?
We weren't evicted. We were threatened with eviction.
Yeah.
I think the landlord did then have a word. Aubrey was very much seen as the leader of the two of us. He's the kind of person... I mean, look at the different statures of the two of us. He can hold himself. Boy, can he hold himself. And... You're told not to smile!
We need an answer. So, David's team.
He's never coming back on this show again. He's had such a rough time.
Such a rough time. All right, I've got many opinions on this. Do you want to lead the way with this one?
No, you go.
Okay.
I'm about 50-50.
So, for 95% of this story, I had my money on the snail story because it was weird but plausible. Like, if you have a pet and you need to give it to someone nearby, like, you know, bring in like a little aquarium, just say, hey, can you feed him like once a day for a week? Like, that's not a crazy thing, especially if they're a close friend. Very believable circumstances. I would have thought maybe it was a unique snail rather than a garden snail, but hey, you can have whatever pet you want. That's totally fine.
Yeah, sure.
It's he's not the stalker guy. I can't imagine that situation happening.
No.
And if it did happen, I can't imagine him coming on the show. So I'm ruling that one out as well.
No. Yeah.
It was an instant rule out for Lee because under what circumstances? I don't even know if they said it. Why are they cooking socks? Did they say why? They were just hungover and being dumb?
Yeah, like a joke or something.
When you're hungover and all you want is like some greasy, delicious food or to lay on a couch, the last thing you want to do is, hey, should we try and like cook some socks and get some just weird, disgusting smells going through this house while we're hungover? No, we're not going to do that.
So you're leaning towards...
So I was leaning towards the snail guy. And then I thought, it sounded like he was actually English and they were both living over in Australia. I didn't get the impression that he was Australian. I thought maybe Kathy was Australian and her mum. Didn't believe any part of the story at all until Aubrey started to smirk. And then Lee looked at him like they knew each other quite well. And then when he yelled in his face, like I can imagine Lee doing that to pretty much anyone for a laugh, but there was something that they, like, it looked like they knew each other and he knew that was going to get Aubrey to crack. So just in the last 20 seconds, I'm now 100% Lee's telling the truth.
Well, that's really interesting to me because I think I saw it a different way.
Okay, yeah, tell us.
Yeah, so I reckon I saw him like, I'm going to shout in this person's face. So I'm going to look at him as if like, yeah, like I thought he was amping himself up to do it because he is a stranger. It's like I don't want to shout at this guy's face right now, but it's gonna sell it. So this is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, like he almost sort of bought into like seeing the reaction, going, "This guy's having fun with my story. I'm now gonna like turn it up to 11."
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's a fair way of looking at it.
Well, that's how I saw it. And I was actually thinking the snail story was ridiculous and it couldn't have been the one. But out of all the stories, I think the snail is the most plausible. And just from a very, very small point, but to me, I'm grounding a lot of my decision based on this. I think that the, what was his name? Steve Davis?
Yeah.
Looks more age appropriate to be this person, Aubrey's friend. I think he's too old to be friends with Lee, and he's not a stalker.
He's too old. Aubrey's too old to be friends with Lee.
It looks to me that way.
You know, I think he's just got a receding hairline. If you look at him, I think he's younger than you think he is.
He may be.
Yeah, because I always looked at him like, oh no, he's actually got like quite a young face. He's just a bit of a receding hairline. All right, so snail.
I'm gonna say snail.
And I cannot believe I'm going socks in the Australian mate story. Can't wait to find out he's a stalker.
He's the stalker out of all of them.
Stalker. If he just like pulls out the jar.
He proposes to her or something.
They come back from commercial break and he's just standing behind her. Just hand on her shoulder. Oh, poor Aubrey. I'm so sorry.
Is Aubrey Steve's snail mate, Sarah's condiment saviour, or Lee's sock-sizzling sidekick?
This is a problem.
It is.
What's the problem?
Well, the problem is no one would keep a single snail as a pet. No one would follow someone 10 miles just to return some chutney. And Lee would fry some socks, but it's clearly not Lee. So,
come on, what's it gonna be?
Socks.
Socks, you're saying socks.
Oh,
okay.
socks.
In that case, Aubrey, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Aubrey, and Lee and I fried our housemate socks.
Wow. As soon as he's
Yes, Aubrey is Lee's sock-sizzling sidekick, and proof is found in this. Who is that ever
That's such
so
an 80s
camp,
house.
glamorous young man holding them up? Thank you very
And they're
much, Aubrey.
drinking too.
And they were drinking.
Yeah, there's like a glass of what's clearly like a bourbon or something to his side.
Yeah, there you go. It did turn out to be a familiar glass over to Aubrey in the end.
Wow, well done.
Yeah.
Very good.
I'm curious, and I'm sure no one's going to know the answer to this, if Sarah's story was true with another person. Like, did she have that situation happen to her and she's just like, oh yeah, it's that guy?
Yeah, I do. I hope that's not true though.
I hope
because
it's
that's
not
just
true.
horrible.
Question of the day, guys. Have you ever had anyone drive 10 miles to drop off some groceries to you that you had left behind? And if so, don't give your personal details in the comments below. Because they are after you still.
And I think the one other thing that I thought was funny about like the snail story is keeping a snail for a pet is silly, right?
Sure.
We have a bird feeder outside, and there is literally at 6:30 every day the same bird that comes to our thing. It's kind of like ours. It's not really our pet though, and I would never get somebody to sit it.
All you got to do is cage it, and then it's yours. Guys, did you spot little Alex Horn anywhere? Was he hiding somewhere in this clip? Did you see him? Let us know in the comment section below. Give us the timestamp, and we'll pin the first comment.
And please hit that like button if you guys also like this. Comment if you guys also got it right. I got it wrong. Michael got it right. What did you guys vote for? Let us know in the comments.
And one last thing. Do we sound like Lee does when he's doing an Australian accent?
Like, I'm going to answer that. No, we don't.
Try say something as Lee as an Australian.
So he speaks like Bogan, right? Like,
real Bogan.
how you going? I'm gonna put a shrimp on the barbie. That's how he was speaking.
Shrimp on the barbie.
Yeah, like there's no R's. It's all twang. I think it's more of like a early settler type thing, or like more of the eastern states have that sort of accent. Yeah, we don't. We're a little bit. No, I'm not going to go down that path. Have Australians hate us now?
Yeah. I couldn't even do a full sentence. I was going to be like, leave us a comment below.
That was good. And that's not a knife.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
I see you've played Knifey Spoony before.
You play Knifey Spoony before. Guys, thanks for watching that video. If you want to see any more of our reactions, hit on that playlist just up there. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
I commend you if you're still here at this point. See ya.